Hey everybody, Gary Hazelegger here again. I'm a digital marketing expert, a rock and roll legend, and also chief engineer at NASA. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint that only one of those credentials is actually true, and I'll let you guys decide which one. Actually, actually, two of those might be true. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. I was in a band in high school, so that could count as a rock and roll legend. Anyway, regardless, today I'm going to be walking you through how to create your first ever Facebook ad. We're going to walk you through step by step. We're actually going to create an ad itself. This video is going to be for anybody who is new to Facebook advertising, hasn't been doing any advertising, but it's also for a few people. If you've already run a couple ads before, it'll be for you too. It'll be a good refresher course on just kind of getting the basics of how it all works, how to set it up, and whatnot. So anyway, we're going to get right into it. So here I am on my page. This is my personal Facebook page here. I see that someone's on a live feed right now. I got an ad for lead pages here. Anyway, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go up to this top right little drop down menu here, and you're going to want to click on that. And then you're going to come down to create an ad. Now, you don't have to create an ad account first. The best way to actually create the ad account itself is to create an ad first, and then once you're finished the whole setup process, it'll prompt you to put in your credit card info and a little bit more info to create that ad account, because you will need an actual separate ad account. It's separate from your personal Facebook account. But that'll prompt you at the end of setting all this up. So when you first go to create an ad, it comes up with this this is your menu. So it has a lot of different options to choose from. You could do kind of like get reach, brand awareness, traffic, video views. You can send people to your store, go for conversions. So there's a lot of different options. For me, I like to stick in about 3 different zones here. One is traffic, so that will send people to an external web page or website. So you want people to claim an offer on your website or opt in to something, or just visit your website to get more information. Then that is what you'd want to use. There's engagement. That's just basically if you want to get more likes and comments on a post, get more shares on a post, and create some brand awareness, get that post to go viral. And then the third one I really like to use is video views. I'm pretty hot on this one right now, actually. It's pretty cheap. You can get views for less than a penny each, and you can really get a video to go quite viral and reach a lot of people for not much money. Now, that being said, whenever you're setting this up and choosing your objective, you always want to make sure that you have a specific goal in mind when you first start creating your ad. So whether that's you want people to send them out to your website to claim that offer, or to learn more about your business from your website, or if you're selling stuff online, you'd really want to use that traffic. For engagement, I like to use engagement whenever I'm, say, running a contest, something like that, where I'm asking them to like and share the post to enter to win. That engagement objective really works well for that. And then video views, of course, is for videos. But when you're doing a video, you want to make sure that you have a goal in mind, where you want those people to go from that video. Now, whether that's adding a little link into the post to send them out to a web page, again, to claim your offer, or something like that. So you really want to have those goals in mind and know kind of what your main objective and what your main goals of running these ads are before you choose. Now, for the sake of today, I'm going to set up a fake ad. So I'm going to actually choose the engagement option. So I'm going to want to run likes, get some likes and comments on a post here. That's kind of going to be our objective for the day today. But depending on what kind of ad you want to run, it may vary on what you're doing. So once you get engagement, it's just going to come down here and prompt you to give it a bit of a name. And I'm just going to name it something just to get it, give it an identity so I know what it is and for future use. I'm just going to call it test, and I'm going to stick with my food truck idea, and I'm going to do an ad for that. So I'm going to just say test food truck, and then hit continue. So once you've come up with your objective, it's going to come to this screen here, and this is where it gets fun. This is where you get to target out to who your audience is and who is going to see your ad, who specifically is going to be viewing your ad. And so you really want to understand who your target customer is. Now, most of you, I hope you already kind of have a good idea or a really good idea of who your specific target market is, your target prospect is. But if you don't, I urge you to go check out the other video on how to create your own customer avatar and create your own target customer. But we aren't going to get into that too much in this video at all. I'm just going to go through kind of the main steps and walk you through how to set this up. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out your location. So since most of you guys are operating out of a physical location and you're not selling online or whatever, you're going to want to type in probably your exact address or close to. So for this, my office here is actually located in the small town of Woodstock, Ontario. Only about 40,000 people here. It is growing. It's one of the fastest growing cities here in Canada, actually. So it is growing and getting bigger, but it's fairly small at about 40,000 people. But I'm going to use that for here, and my office right now is located at 236 Norwich Ave. Now it'll come up and it'll give me a search up there. Pops it right in there. There's the address right there. I can use 10-mile radius. I can go up anywhere from 1 to 50-mile radius there. I'm going to stick with just that 10 actually. That's a pretty good, covers most of the densely populated areas. And for this ad, I'm going to only be targeting people that are going to be nearby. People aren't going to be driving far away to come stop by at a food truck. So I want to target people fairly close to my actual location. So once you have your location set up, you come down here and it'll prompt you for age now and gender. Now for this ad I'm setting up, I'm thinking it's probably really intended for most age groups and both genders. So I'm not really going to mess around with that too much. I think that's pretty good right there. This ad will apply to everyone. Everyone has to eat, and I think most people like food trucks. So I'm not going to touch that right there, but in other instances, there will be lots of instances where you want to set that up differently. You want to target, if you're, say, a tech company or something like that, you're not going to want to target 65 and plus, and vice versa. So after that, since we're going to be writing this ad in English, we're going to only show it to people who speak English. So I'm going to go English all. the majority of people in your location will probably speak English. So I would just stick with the English there. Now this is where it becomes cool. This is where we get to base our targeting based on our people's interests. And this is where you really got to know that customer avatar of who you're targeting. And see, it has so I click here and it automatically comes down a drop-down menu. Some of the ones I've been using, small business owners. That's kind of my target market. So I like to always target those type of people. But you can really start typing in anything, like people that would be interested in, say, burgers. Burgers, 77,000 people. Burger King, these type of things. I'm not going to actually use that. We'll go here and actually click on Browse. And you can go through and browse all these different kind of topics here. There's all kinds of different stuff. You can go food and drink. People who are interested in food. 140 million people interested in barbecue. I'm going to use that one. Fast food, use that. If I was an organic food truck, I could use organic food. That would be a really good one to use. People who are interested in only organic food. Or vegan, vegetarian, same thing. If I was targeting strictly to people who are vegan, then this would be a great thing to choose. There's also choose restaurants here. People who are interested in fast food restaurants, I'll use that one. Fast casual restaurants. Yeah, I'll throw diners on there. Kind of applies the same way. But you could really go through a lot of different stuff here. And I'll get into this more in another video to really get more detailed targeting, but I'm just going to set up a kind of a rough one here for just to get this ad running. You could go to behaviors. This can be a lot of different things. It's purchase behavior, people who have clicked on the shop now button in the past week. So those are people that are buying stuff online. That's not for us, but just wanted to show you some of these. Kind of travel, people who commute, people who recently returned from a trip. That's just it's just endless. And on here, people who have an anniversary coming up in a few months. So if you were selling, flowers or jewelry, you could target men who have an anniversary coming up in the next 3 months, 2 to 3 months. That would be a great thing to do. There's all kinds of different stuff here, and you really get in here and just start playing around with what you want. So with that being said, I think I got a nice little base here showing me I got about 14,000 people that are in my 10-mile radius that are also interested in barbecue, fast food, diners, fast casual restaurants, fast food restaurants. So getting into the organic and vegan stuff, since this food truck, this imaginary food truck that I've created, it's not vegan. It's not going to be organic. It's just plain burgers and fries and pretty standard that way. So I'm going to go in here and click exclude people. So I'm including people in this list, but I'm going to exclude those people that are vegan because they're not going to want to come to my truck. So I don't want them to see my ads. Vegan, vegetarianism. There, see 97 million people. See, now I'm knocking out quite a bit of people. I went from 14,000 to 9,500 people. So that's going to be more detailed targeting. What was the other one? Organic. People who are interested in organic food. Yeah, see, I almost cut. I cut this reach just in half by cutting out people who are interested in being or vegan, vegetarian, or eat organic. So I think that's pretty good base for this ad. This is a pretty broad ad. You can get, depending on what your business is, you can get really, really detailed with your audience and show your ads only to those specific people. That's why it's so important to really understand who your target customer is, who that exact person is, what their behaviors are, what their age is, what they like to do, what their interests, their behaviors, everything. You just really want to know everything about that person. And I want you guys to watch the target customer video on setting up your target customer in this program, because that's really vital to really understand who that is when you're setting these ads up. So next we go down and it says add a connection type. So we could go here to our Facebook pages. We could select people who like our page. You select exclude people who like your page. And one that I like to use is friends of people who like your page. I don't know if you've noticed before, you may scroll through your news feed and it shows, so-and-so and 5 others like this page, and then it shows the ad. That just gives a little bit more social proof, and most people like to do what their friends and other people they know do first. They want that kind of social proof about it first. So if say Susie likes this business that I'm seeing, then I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to it because someone else I know already likes it and has given me some of that social proof. So I'm going to select that, friends of people who like your page. So I'm going to be using just my personal page because I don't have the food truck page set up yet, but let's just see what that's going to do. Facebook seems to be taking a long time to load. There we go. I was thinking I might almost have to start singing to you to keep you entertained, show off my rock legend skills, but I won't bother you with that today. So see, that really actually knocked it down quite a bit. So I'm actually going to take that out for the time being. I want a little bit more than 1,400 people. 7,400 is a pretty good number for my local market. So after this placements, this is an important one. It says here automatic placements is recommended by Facebook. It is recommended by Facebook because they want to be able to have control over where your ads are going and be able to get the most money from you. I mean, they're at the end of the day, they just want your money, Facebook. So I advise everyone to not do automatic placements and to edit their own placements. So you get in here and you can go, there's Facebook, there's feeds, there's instant articles, InStream videos, right column. So it's not a video we're doing, so we're going to uncheck that one. We don't want to be in instant articles because it's not a blog post or an article. So we want to show up in the feeds. That's both mobile and desktop. And the right column, depending on what the ad is, I've had some really good success with the right column ads and not so good success with them. Excuse me. But for this ad, I think I'm going to leave it because I think I'm going to have a nice picture and it might catch people's eye there on the right column. But for those of you who don't know, the right column is on the right side here when you're on your desktop Facebook. You see some pictures and videos there that you can click on. That's what the right column ads are. And then Instagram, since I'm food, I'm actually going to keep Instagram because these type of food ads do very well on Instagram. Instagram doesn't actually allow you to link out in your posts. So when you post on Instagram, you can't link to an external website or anything like that. But when you run ads on Facebook through Instagram, you can add a link saying learn more, or click here, and it'll click and go to an external website or another page. So those are the feeds I usually stick with. InStream videos, if I'm doing a video, I'll likely put it in the InStream videos. That's just when you watch a video, you might notice that another video all of a sudden just pops up after you're finished watching one. That's kind of what that idea is. But I'm just going to leave it like this for now. I think that's good. You can actually also click specific mobile devices and operating systems, so you can select just iPhones, that sort of stuff, but we're not going to do anything with that today. So the next thing you're going to do is set up budget and schedule. For me, what I typically like to do when I'm first creating an ad, I like to do it at about $5 per day. That just gives me a good idea. I can run it for 2 or 3 days, not spend too much money, and it'll give me a decent idea after about 2 or 3 days of how that ad is performing. If it's not performing well, I'll just cut it. If it's doing really well, I'll increase that budget up substantially and get more reach that way. But since this ad is actually going to be just for 1 day, I'm probably going to So next thing I'm going to do is come down to how your ad is delivered, and we've already said we want it for post engagement. And you come down here and it says when you get charged impressions. Now, for those of you who don't know, impressions are the amount of times your ad is seen. That's not necessarily how many people have seen your ad, but how many times it showed up in someone's news feed. The reach over here, the reach is how many unique people have seen your ad. So say you have 100 reach on an ad, that means 100 different people have seen that ad. But you could have 100 reach and also have 200 impressions. So if that's the case, that means you've had 100 different people see your ad and they've all seen it twice. Okay? So for when I'm doing post engagement, I actually don't like to do impressions, because impressions is just trying to send it out to a lot of people and get it in front of a lot of different eyes. Whereas with a post engagement, I actually want to get some likes and some comments on the post, and that way I can actually get a little bit more of an organic reach with it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and select post engagement. And then that is it for creating the ad set. So I'm just going to go click continue. And there we go. And it's going to bring us to the actual ad creation itself. So one thing you can do is you can use an existing post. That's what the default is here. And so it's given me one of my latest posts here from, this is a bagel shop that I do advertising for. You can see it's, do you like smoked salmon? How about smoked salmon on a freshly baked Montreal style bagel? Come check us out here at Bagel Time and try one today, located at Danforth and Papepath. So if I wanted to just promote this post itself, I could just leave it the way it is, have that ad run out the way it is, and try to get some likes and comments on that. But today I'm actually going to create a new ad, and I'm not going to use Bagel Time. I'm just going to go and use my own here just to set this up. I'm not actually going to be running this ad. This is just a test to show you guys how to set it up. So next thing you're going to do, you can choose from a few different formats. One, you can just have a single image, that's it, with some text, and then you can have a video, or you could create a slideshow with about up to 10 images, and that's just going automatically sliding through a few different images. All of these have worked well for me. It depends on what you're trying to do. I don't think there's any one better way or not. It just totally depends on what your goal is. That's why having that end goal in mind when creating these ads is so important. But for this, I'm just going to do it with single image, and I'm not going to use that. So from here, you can actually choose one of your own images, which I suggest if you have your own images, make sure they're high quality images, eye-catching images. Don't just throw up something that's not very good quality. Excuse me. Something that's professionally done is best, but you can go in here and upload any kind of image. For this, since I don't actually own a food truck, I'm going to actually just grab some stock images. You can grab some free stock images here from Facebook. They have tons and tons of different pictures you can use for these ads. Great pictures. So I'm going to search, what should I search? Burger food truck. Let's see what we get. Yeah, so see, you get a whole bunch of cool pictures here that you can use absolutely for free through Facebook and Shutterstock. See, there's all kinds of different pictures of burgers and food trucks, and I kind of like that one. That one kind of looks good. I'm going to use that one. Is there any other ones here that I kind of like? See, there's some tailgating, some cool pictures here. That's a pretty good picture there. Oh, I like this one. Use that one as well. So I'm going to test out a couple different pictures. This does not mean I'm using a slideshow. These are still going to be just single images pictures, but half the ad will show this picture and half of it will show this picture. I'm just doing these two. I want to test out the difference between a picture of just food and a picture of a person serving food. For some reason, they say pictures of people tend to normally do a little bit better on Facebook. So that's why I'm going to test this out and see how this goes this way. So I got two pictures there. That's good enough for now. So I'm going to use these two. And then I'm going to add some text in here. So I'm going to just say something. I typically like to begin most of my ads with a question to try to hook people in. Questions for some reason try to kind of catch people's eyes when they're scrolling through a news feed. So I'll put something like, are you looking for a quick bite to eat? Come check out our new food truck and try one of our delicious burgers today. We'll be located on the corner of, where am I going to locate myself? Say Dundas and Norwich Ave. That's a fairly busy corner here in Woodstock, so I'm going to do that. And we're going to be there until, let's say, 9 p.m. And that's probably good for ad copy. I typically don't like to add too much written copy into these ads. I'm just looking for people to like and comment on this post, and hopefully come visit the truck, grab a bite to eat. So after you get some written text in there, you're pretty much set. I'm not going to track conversions. This pixel tracking conversions, I will go over that in a different video. We'll get right into different Facebook pixel targeting stuff in a different video that's a little bit more advanced than where we're at right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the ad. So I think we're pretty good. I just want to take a quick preview of it here, so you can go on the right side. You can preview So this is what it'll look like on the mobile feed. That looks pretty nice. On feature phone, this is what it'll come up on the desktop. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then my right column, yeah, people that are hungry would probably catch their eye. That's what it's going to look like on Instagram. Oh, that looks really good. I like that. And then we can check out our other picture. This is what our other picture will look like on newsfeed. Feature phone, desktop. Right column on Instagram. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm actually just going to add one thing into the copy here. I'm going to say, are you hungry? There. So anybody who's hungry and looking for a quick bite is going to be very interested in this ad when they read it. So that looks really good. And so the last thing you're going to want to do is just click place order. Now I'm not going to place this order right now because I'm not going to run this ad. But once you hit place order, your ad will go into review, and it takes, anywhere from 15 minutes. Sometimes I've had it take up to like 5 or 6 hours sometimes. Just, I'm not sure why, what makes it be longer, but it's just every single ad has to go through a review process and be seen by someone at Facebook to make sure that all their advertising policies and guidelines are being followed. And then after that, you'll get a confirmation that your ad's been approved or disapproved, and it'll start delivering. And yeah, so if this is your first time creating an ad, once you hit the place order, you'll get a screen that'll prompt you up to put in your credit card information and whatnot so Facebook can have your money. Anyway, that's it for this video today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.